Okay, all right. Yeah. So the assignment rule, match list, identity items, application item, additional item, right? Based on what you want to assign on identity attribute level, which attribute whenever department equals to admin. You want to add more condition, you can add more conditions here. When first name equal to Amit, right? Multiple condition you can add here, right? The complete logic using and or also you can do. Okay, any of this attributed match role will be assigned to the user. Or if you use and, both conditions should be matched. So you can build a complete logic here, right? Let's say department equals to admin and job role equal to, let's say, ABC for anything. Or let's say associate engineer, anything, right? Say this. So inside the business role, we have defined the criteria on what basis we want to grant access to the end users. So match list, whenever department equals to admin or job title equals to associate engineer, based on that we need to assign, right? So this part is covered. So we created business role, basically criteria on what basis we want to assign access to user. Okay. Then IT role. Okay. What entitlement we want to assign, that we need to provide inside the IT role. Added IT role. Go down here. Entitlements. Add, let's say, one entitlement from the finance. Let's say DPA. Okay. Add this. One more. One from LDAP, or let's say track. Any number of entitlements from any number of application you can create here. You can add here. Simple. Save this. So business role we created. Okay. On what basis we want to grant access to the user? Criteria. What access, what entitlement we want to grant, that we have selected here in the IT role, right? Now what we need to do, we need to link both with each other, right? So open the business role, edit this role, go down here, you will see the required roles, modify required role and search here and select IT role here. Save this. So how it works is, business role, when the user get the business role, in the business role we have the criteria. So if the user match the criteria, user will get the business role. From the business role, now if you see, we have a name of IT role, required roles. Required roles, admin department, IT role. So from this, user will get the IT role. Inside the IT role, what we have? Entitlements. That entitlements. Okay. So business role be assigned to the user based on the criteria. If user match the criteria, from the business role, IT role will be assigned to the user. From the IT role, entitlement will be assigned to the user. Inside one business role, you can link multiple IT role. In the one IT role, you can link multiple entitlements. There is no limit. Okay. Now, how this role assigned to the user? Role assigned to the user when you run the refresh task. Cube. To set up task, refresh identity cube. Open this. Go down. There are different options here, right? We use for different purpose. Now, in order to assign role, what option you need to use? We have to use this refresh assign rated role. This option, and in order to do the provisioning of entitlements, okay, we have to use the second option, provision assignments. This two option we have to always select whenever we have to assign the roles. Save and execute. Now what SailPoint will do? SailPoint will refresh every identity and it will check if any identity match this criteria. If yes, role will be assigned to the user. Okay. Now here this criteria randomly provided, entitlement also randomly provided, right? Let's modify this. Let's make a some meaningful criteria, or basically which we can use end to end basically. So we have this user Alice code. Okay, I want to put criteria department equal to information technology. Edit role department equals to information technology. Remove the space. Okay, and what else? Region equals to Europe. Okay, add more attribute. Let's say employee ID should be this only, and condition. Right. Even you can ignore this actually, and both condition basically. So any user in SailPoint where department equal to information technology and region equal to Europe, this role will be assigned to the users. Submit this. Okay. See the criteria. Department equal to information technology and user region equal to Europe. If this criteria match, user will get this IT role. In the IT role, let's select some entitlement. We have few applications here, right? Finance, track, and LDAP. Out of this, finance basically and track, you can consider the limit. The only direct connector we have is LDAP, right? But in LDAP, when we create a fresh setup, right, we don't have any entitlements in LDAP. You see, we don't have any entitlement. Blank, right? We don't have any entitlement, right? So we need to create entitlements in LDAP first in order to perform this practical, right? So what we'll do, we'll create entitlement in LDAP. Since LDAP is a direct connector, we can directly create entitlements from here. Add new entitlement, application LDAP. Let's say group one, requestable. That's it. Object properties. If you remember that day, I provided this create DN, distinguished name of a user, right? In the same format, we need to provide here group DN. So UID stands for user ID, right? So we cannot user ID here. So we'll use CN, common name, and the name of your group one. Okay, save this. A workflow to update group name group one was successfully launched. Right. Who is the owner of this application? Tell them. Barbara Wilson. So now Barbara Wilson will receive this approval. Okay. Approval as an admin, how can we check? We can check here. Work item. As I mentioned, then everything is called work item, manual thing, right? Approval, approved creation of entitlement LDAP group one assigned to Barbara Wilson. I'll forward to myself. View this, create new groups in LDAP, right? Approve this. So entitlement is created. Now you can go back, entitlement catalog, advanced search, filter LDAP. You'll see there's a one group here, group one. Okay. And same way you can also check this on your LDAP. Open LDAP. You see equal to group one. Group one is created here. So group one is basically entitlement here. Right. Now we have entitlement. So now we can select this entitlement under IT role. Edit role. Remove this. This is disconnected, right? So I'm showing you for connected application. LDAP. List of group and group one. You can select multiple also, right? So same thing. So now we have a business role in which we have a criteria. Now in the business role, we have the name of IT role. In the IT role, we have entitlement, that entitlement, right? Now what we need to do, open this user, the one which I opened, what was the name, who is matching this criteria, information technology. So what was I using? I opened from the LDAP.
Barbara Wilson,
Barbara Wilson was the
owner
Alice
of the
Ford.
LDAP.
No, no, not owner. Alice Ford. Okay. I was doing this, right? Department equal to information technology and region equal to Europe. This
Oh,
is the
okay.
condition I provide here, right? Now, if you see, this user has LDAP account, but do you see this user has any group assigned? No. Go to entitlement step. Here, any group entitlement assigned to this user? No. Any role assigned to this user? No. Go to refresh task. Refresh IDQ with these two options selected. Okay, that's it. Save and execute. SailPoint will scan every single user and it will check if any user is matching this criteria. SailPoint will assign the business role. Inside the business role, SailPoint has IT role name. So SailPoint will assign the IT role. Inside the IT role, we have an entitlement group 1 on LDAP. So SailPoint will assign this entitlement to the user. Check this. Which task is run? You see, refresh this user. Now you see LDAP. You see, group 1 is assigned to this user. Group 1. Go to entitlement step. Group 1 entitlement is assigned to user. Business and IT role assigned to user. Now click on this entitlement. You will see. Type entitlement. Assigned false. Granted by role true. Which role? Assigned role. Business role name. Directed role this. So business roles is also called your assigned role. And IT role is also called your directed role. Okay. This is your business role. This is your IT role. Okay. Now, generally we run this refresh task every day, right? So every day SailPoint will check if any user is matching this criteria. SailPoint will again assign this. I mean, not again. Basically, SailPoint will assign this, this complete access to the user. If user already have this access, SailPoint will check if user is still matching the criteria. If user is still matching the criteria, SailPoint will not do nothing because access is already assigned to the user. But let's say previously there was a user who hold this access because the user was fulfilling this criteria. But now that user is not fulfilling the criteria, user moved to different department. So next day when the refresh will trigger, refresh will check if now user is not fulfilling the criteria. So SailPoint will remove all this access in one go, business, IT, and entitlement, everything. So this way, SailPoint will always check this condition. Basically, that's it. If the user is returning this condition, access will be granted to the user. If not, access will be revoked. So this way, it's controlling the complete assignment part also, revocation part also. That's why we call it RBAC, role-based access control. Any question here, anyone?
Rahul, once user access is removed, if the user is moved to some other department or region, so where can we see the logs? Like in the provisioning transaction, we can see like
In the
for
provisioning transition,
we
yes.
see in
In the
roles.
transition, you will see that
Okay.
this access is removed, the reason, etc. Those kind of things you will see. Let me show you. Now the access is granted to the user, right?
Mhm.
So now go to the provisioning transition. Admin console, provisioning. You see, modify LDAP account for which user? Alice Ford. The source is refreshed. This entitlement is assigned to the user because of IND refresh.
Yeah. For removal also, operation will be removed, right? Instead
Yeah,
of that.
operation is simple. Yeah, simple. It will be just operation remove. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Rahul, one more top of that, but I got it, but I just have more clarity on that. Tomorrow, like there are 5 entitlements are onboarded and 2 entitlements are removed. So when we refreshed identity refresh task, so as per that matching criteria, the existing users will be removed for the removed entitlements, newly added will be added, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Now let's say this user Alice code, right? Let's move this user into different
Oh,
department.
one more question, Rahul. So in entitlements where assigned is set to false, so which means what it exactly, if it is assigned set to false means not here in identity entitlements. Yeah. So here assigned set to false, right? Which means like what it exactly? Actually, it's set to true, right? Assigned entitlement.
False.
False means removing, right?
No. False means this entitlement is not directly assigned to the user. It is granted by a role.
Okay.
Entitlement can be directly requested to the user, right?
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can go to manage user access, you can select Alice code, you can select entitlement group 1 and you can submit it. Correct. So is it assigned directly to the user or it is through the role? So that's why it's maintaining all this information here. It's granted by a role. Which role? The role name also coming here.
So if that entitlement is directly assigned, then it's set to true.
I think yes.
So how we will assign directly to that entitlement to user?
You
By
didn't attend the last session.
yeah, I did, but yeah, I need to. I'll check. I'll come back to you tomorrow.
Manage user access, right? That day I show you. You go here, shopping cart experience. You select user first. You select access and then you submit,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. I'll check, and I'll come back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
So, Rahul, one more question. If any new user joins the organization and they need access to many BR roles, in that case, how can we set the logic? Like they need access for Outlook, email, and many other application BR roles. Yeah. So how
So
can we?
roles is only used to assign entitlements.
Mhm.
Role can also create account for you, but that is not the fundamental purpose of the role. Okay. Role. So basically, uh, how we actually assign the user, basically access, right? Access is also basically in terms of accounts and the application accounts and in the entitlement, right? So SailPoint says that when user join the organization or the existing user, right, in whatever situation, right?
Mhm.
So first time when the user coming into system in the organization, right? All the applications that you want to assign to the user, assign it only one time and try it, as much as possible. You can assign it in one, for one go only, basically. So we define a joiner workflow. In the joiner, we actually majorly we create the application account for a user. Okay. Now during joining time and in the remaining time also of identity lifecycle, user need access based on different condition, department, based on the status, based on the job title, so many different way, right? So for that, create role, because role triggered every day. Workflow you cannot trigger every day, right? So create account, application account through the workflow, joiner workflow, and assign different entitlements through roles. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
So this concept is called birthright provisioning, right? When a person joins the organization, right, there are some minimum access we need to provide to the user by default, right? So when I say access, some application you need to assign to the user, and some entitlement. There's a minimum entitlement that we need to grant to all employee who is joining the organization, right? So for application, we should use workflow. For roles, or sorry, for entitlement, we should use role.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this user Alice port, let's say I change this user region. This is the user region is Europe. Okay. Let me update Asia Pacific here. Where is that user? Alice port. Okay. Asia Pacific, right? Right now, region is Europe. So let's say HR team update this person region. Go to sorry, first go to HR aggregation. Done. Identity update 1 because only one is modified, right? Refresh this user. Region is changed to Asia Pacific, right? So now this user is not fulfilling this criteria, correct? Run the refresh. What refresh will do? Refresh will again check, okay, whether the existing user is matching this criteria or not. No, it's not matching. So what it will do? It will remove everything, business role, IT role, and the access and the entitlement granted because of these roles. See this. Refresh anti-cube, right click, execute in background. See the output here, running, finished. See the user there, refresh. Business role is removed, IT role is removed, group is also removed. Group is removed. Because now user is not fulfilling the criteria, so access should be revoked. So this way it helps, basically we don't need to worry about the revocation part. Modify list code, you see LDAP, operation remove. So this way we have to just provide the right criteria here. SailPoint will always make sure that the person who is fulfilling the criteria, only that person will get the access, that's it. Clear this, everyone?
Rahul, one question.
Yes.
So you have added one entitlement, that is group 1 for the LDAP
Correct.
from the SailPoint console.
Correct.
So in case of, let's say if I have multiple groups and I don't want to manually enter each time, entering in the entitlement catalog. So what is the option I can use it in SailPoint to create multiple groups in SailPoint, and it has to be
Coding.
it has to be created in so there
You
is
will be
no
using coding part.
out of the box functions.
No, you will be using coding for that.
With the LDAP connector, there are no out of the box functions.
No. I mean, this is the out of the box, but how we trigger? Okay. How we trigger? For that, we need a code.
So can I load entitlements like bulk entitlements like group
Yes.
2, group 3, group 4, group 5,
See,
and for
there are
LDAP
two
application?
things. See, there are two things.
Yeah.
Loading entitlement to SailPoint system and creating entitlement on the target system. Both are different things.
Correct.
Okay. So loading SailPoint, you can do it without even the application is not present, application is not connected, application is down. You can do that, right?
Okay.
But if you want to create new entitlement object on the target system, for that you have to do it either one by one or you have to use some code.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say we have application here, track, right? Let's say track entitlement. I want to make some change. I want to put some description, some owner, few entitlement I mark, non-requestables. One option is you open this example. You change here display name. You put some value here. You remove this. You put the description. You select owner. You save. Let's say you say that hey, we have 30-40. I want to do in bulk. You have option. Export this data. Select application. Let's say track. Export this. You will get this manage attribute.csv. So entitlements are called manage attribute in the backend. Open this manage attribute.csv. This is a data. Hash application track capability this is this, right? Display name, it's approved. You are not allowed to change this part. Okay. Application attribute value. Display name we can change. Requestable, non requestable, we can do that. False. I don't want user to request for super access. Owner, let's say owner of this is, let's say, Alice Port. Copy the name of Alice Port and pass here. Okay. What else? In case if you want to add description also, you have to add this EN US, means English in the United States standard. Add description. This entitlement provide access to approval permission on track system, like this, whatever. Let's say you want to add more attribute, sorry, entitlement here, you can do that. Let's say and user.
So whatever we do changes here, it will come only in entitlement catalog, not on the
Correct.
database of track. So now
Yes.
my question is related with LDAP. Okay, in case of LDAP, group 1 you have created through UI. I want to create group 2, 3, 4 in bulk through, and it has to be created in SailPoint entitlements also, as well as LDAP application also, target LDAP application.
In bulk you want to create, right?
Yes,
Multiple.
yes.
Only coding option you have.
Okay.
Go
And
here.
where that code has to trigger from? Is it through tasks or how that
The
code has
code you can trigger with anything, like that code should be in the SailPoint, but
Okay.
you can trigger as a task, as a custom task, as a Java, as a rule, as a anything basically.
Okay. So this import function will stop only until that entitlement catalog to display in the entitlement catalog. That's it.
Correct. This is just to maintain the entitlement catalog. Now you see
Okay.
I made the changes here. A display name, owner, description, requestable, non-requestable, and I have also added a new entitlement here. That is only maintained within the SailPoint table, within the
Okay.
SailPoint catalog.
But
Import.
it won't create new groups on target.
No, never.
Okay. Okay.
Import this. Import is done. Now see the entitlement belongs to track application. You see the display name is changed. One description is coming here. Owner is Alice Ford. Super
No,
entitlement is
this I
non-requestable.
understood. Anyway, track we are not having direct operations. This is a
In
JDBC
case of
connect.
LDAP, in case of
LDAP.
direct control also, it will never trigger.
Okay. Even
When you import here, it's just a data maintained within the one table. That's it.
Okay, even if it adds
Like,
and the existing the group is not there in the target application, the provisioning will
doesn't
fail.
matter.
With
Yeah,
this,
it will fail. It will
it
fail.
will fail.
Correct.
Okay.
So basically, like we don't have a target system, right? Last time Ramu asked this question, right?
Yeah.
You explained that day.
Yeah.
So like we don't have a target system where we can connect and we can bring the information, right? So we use delimit file connector, right? Same way in case of entitlements also. Sometimes we are not able to connect to the application system to bring the entitlement. Or let's say we are bringing the entitlement, but the name, the objects that they are using, right? That is not very readable on the not a SailPoint perspective. So what we can do, we can create those entitlements from here also. So it we can make some changes. Like for example, let's say uh, from the LDAP, we are aggregating the groups, group 1, group 2, group 3, right? But we want to give some meaningful name that, okay, application to some access to some application, right? Admin access, right there. So what we can do, we can export the groups basically of LDAP from this export utility. We can make meaningful name here, display name, and we can upload back to entitlement catalog. That's why I mentioned that this part should not be changed because this is basically belongs to your target system.
Okay. So when you said code to write the code, right? And so that code has to read the entitlements which are loaded in imported in bulk.
Yeah, maybe a
and then
CSV, some source, it could be
yeah,
anything.
yeah, and then provision those newly created groups on the LDAP application.
Correct.
Okay, okay. So this is a custom task.
Right. If you remember that day we execute the rule, right?
Yeah, rule. You created the user records
Identities,
in
right? Accounts.
accounts.
right? Same way, we have to just tweak it the rule. Instead of that, we have to just do it for group. That's it.
Okay. Okay. But there is no direct end-to-end automation. It is a breakthrough
No,
actually.
no,
So one,
correct.
you have to load it in console, in the entitlement console, and second, you have to manually run a program so that it will create from entitlement catalog to target application.
Correct, because this is not the main requirement from the identity management perspective, that we are creating the groups on the target system, right?
Okay.
So in case if one organization says that no, we have a requirement, we have Active Directory system where we have we want to create frequent groups, right? So as of now, Active Directory team is creating all these groups manually, but we want to automate this effort, and we want to track this effort, and we want to place all this effort in the SailPoint system. So we have a one system tracking, right?
Okay.
So what we can do, we can build a complete new functionality here, like we have a manage user access, right? Same way, we can build a complete new fresh functionality. Let's say, okay, you click on one quick link, you will see, okay, import CSV to create groups on Active Directory. You import the CSV, and that backend process will basically process every single record of your CSV, and it will create groups directly on your Active Directory. So that process we need to develop. It's not available by default in the system.
You said Active Directory. It is similar. I mean, LDAP and Active Directory
Yeah.
both.
I mean, anything like LDAP, Active Directory, or any
Okay.
system where the connector allow us to create groups.
Okay. Okay.
Generally, people use Active Directory, so that's why I mentioned this example.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that also. I mean, is it the same situation in Active Directory as like a LDAP connector
Yeah.
for creating groups which are loaded in entitlements catalog? Okay, yeah, fine, Rahul.
Yep. Any question, anyone on the role part?
Rahul, I have a question regarding why we require to create the business or why we directly create the IT role
Okay.
and why we
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
merge the.
I'll give you a very simple example, right? Let's say you go to Haldiram store, right? Let's say you want aloo tikki. Okay, so they have food counter, right? Sweets, fast food, Chinese, South Indian, etc. Right?
Mhm,
Let's say you want to eat, what I mentioned. Let's say you want to eat a dosa, right? South Indian food, right? So you will not
mhm,
directly go to that food counter, right? They have created one separate counter for the payment. First, go there, do the payment, get the receipt. Using the receipt, now go to the dosa counter, South Indian food counter. Show
mhm,
them the receipt, then they will give you the, whatever you order, basically, right? So
mhm,
if you see, when you enter into the store, your requirement was you want food. So let's say dosa you want to eat, right? But you are not directly going to that food counter, right? So why
mhm,
Bikaner and all the stores they are using this mechanism to simplify their process, right? That okay, payment will collect from one place, and then people will directly go where exactly they want, and they will show the receipt, and using the receipt they will get the item whatever they for whatever they have paid, right? So for
mhm.
same purpose, SailPoint is doing this. So if you see here, business role you can basically relate with your the payment counter, right? IT role is
Mhm.
basically the receipt you get once you do the payment, right? And when you show your receipt, you finally get your food. So basically, food is your entitlement, which exactly you need.
Yeah, got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
For this purpose, they are using this. Second
Got it.
purpose is
Okay.
also there. There is one more reason. For large enterprise, sometimes they also want to reduce this IT role in multiple different business role. Okay. So they have so many IT role, business role, and you want to, like for example, IT role. They want to utilize. For example, let's say we have a software trainee, right? Software trainee will get the group one on the system. Then we have a software engineer. Software engineer will get the group one plus group two, right? And then we have a
Mhm,
manager who will get basically, let's say, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, right? So when we are creating
Mm-hmm.
a role for manager, should we add those 5 entitlement to the manager IT role? No. The other roles which are created for the software training, IT role, those we need to include in the manager role. So this way we are reusing the multiple IT roles to provide access to the manager.
Okay,
But mainly the first example which I mentioned to simplify this process.
got it. Okay, Rahul. Rahul, is it possible to connect after this regarding that SQL part I was telling you, messaging you?
Yeah, I'll connect with you.
Yeah, then I can practice on Saturday, Sunday if it is installed the system.
Sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Any
thank
question
you.
here? Anyone?
Rahul, what about other rules? You just explained one for the matching role. So there will be other rules as well, right? And assignment rules.
Now we have one more role that is called organizational role. It, like here, you see this folder I created to organize all the data for this batch, right? So same way we have an organizational role to organize the roles at, let's say, at, let's say department wise role. Type organizational, save this. You see the icons folder. Now we have to move this role inside this. How can we move? Select this role, edit, go down, inheritance, modify inheritance, add this role name here, add this, save this, save this. So you see this role is more inside this folder. Let's do the other one also. Edit this role, inheritance, add this, save this, save this. So now you see we have both business and IT role inside the one folder. That is the purpose of your organizational role. Majorly we have business and IT role. There are other type of role also. Entitlement type of role, which is basically in some system we have very complicated entitlement, right? The names and SailPoint. I mean the customer don't want user to request directly the entitlements, right? So what they want to do, they want to create this entitlement type of role here and add multiple entitlement basically here, right? To treat multiple entitlement as a single entitlement type of role, right? But this is not used. I never see any customers using this mechanism. I don't know why they are not using it, but I never saw any customers using this because here they have to request it manually. Actually, I think that is the reason why they don't prefer to do this because here whatever role you will create here, you have to request it manually, right? And the main purpose, as I mentioned, that of the role is basically your automatic assignment, right? So that feature is not enabled here. Okay, this is the one. The other one is your it's called rapid setup. So rapid setup is basically a separate module. It's a license module in your SailPoint. Previously, we need to set up rapid setup in the SailPoint explicitly. Now it is come by default in your SailPoint system. From I think 8.1 or 8.2. Now it is coming by default in your rapid setup. The purpose of rapid setup, I'll tell you. It's a basically license module. Customer has to pay a special cost, an extra cost for this. Using rapid setup, all the effort we are doing, like we have to create, let's say, thousands of roles, application, joiner, mover, lever, etc. That effort can be reduced. We can do it the whole task in very less time. So we get some framework using that. We can easily build all this functionality. So that is a rapid setup. Okay.
Any scenario which will explain the rapid setup, Rahul, at this point or later stage?
See, rapid setup you can only use when you are using the complete rapid setup, especially the joiner mover lever. So on the fundamental level, the majorly effort are spent where? On the application onboarding and the joiner mover lever when we define the joiner mover lever for the organization, right? So that what rapid setup do is basically it gives you a framework here. It's where the application, let's say for LDAP, what you want to do with my joiner, just select this option here in the UI. That's it. No coding, no workflow, nothing. Everything is pre-built by the SailPoint. So this is used when you use the complete JML process, joiner mover lever. Otherwise, one part of rapid setup you cannot use. And see, some when customer is paying a cost for rapid setup, right? They will not use one part of rapid setup. They will use a complete framework, especially the joiner mover lever, because that is the most complicated process in the SailPoint when we define the joiner and the lever process. Because of what happened when customer on the day customer want decided to buy a license, they don't have all the process in the written that okay, this is what we want, right? They keep changing the process, that they keep discovering okay, this is also we need to cover like that, right? So rapid setup basically what it does, it provide a framework like this where we can go any day and we can make change. No compilation is required, no testing required, nothing. It's a framework provided by the SailPoint. Whereas if we are writing our native joiner workflow, as a developer, you have to go there, you have to make change in the code, you have to do the complete testing, you have to do the deployment, you have to do a lot of things. Okay.
You mean to say that in rapid setup, so all that customization also it's reduced completely?
No, it's not reduced. Customization is not reduced. Okay, it's a framework basically. Any customer who want to set up fast all this thing, right? They can use rapid setup. Definitely, it's a framework, so you will get some option to configure it. But same time, the code and everything functionality is pre-developed, so you will not get the complete free hand to do any kind of customization.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we have few more topics.
Rahul,
So
I
if you
have
see,
a short question. Can I ask you?
yeah, go
No. This is you are calling role-based access control,
right.
and you just showed one. Just you change the location from Europe to some other location, and the total role is removed from the user. It automatically revoke from the user account. So suppose any user's location change from India to he moved to some other country. In this scenario, those users, if they remove like again then relocate to a different location, then all the roles will be removed.
Yes, yes.
So in that scenario, from that country again, he need to request for those roles again.
No. See. Understand this. There must be multiple roles in your organization, right? Let's say, for example, one role we have created for finance department, one role we have created for, let's say, audit department. I am moved from finance to audit. So now my department is not matching with the finance. So finance access will be revoked. But now I am moved to audit department. So if organization has created a role for audit department, so department role will be automatically assigned to me. That access will be automatically assigned to me. Okay.
Yeah. So means in that case, we need to then not select the regions option. So if I select the region option, then it will as an option like in the criteria. Then if the region changes, then the roles automatically will be removed from the user's account.
Not getting you.
Like here, and as per the role-based access control. So user, as you show that as per there is some region you show that Europe region, and then
Right.
if the region is changed, then the role also got removed. But
Correct.
if some users need these roles after that he removed their country, but he still required those roles in his
Yeah, they need to
accounts.
request manually. They need to request manually.
Okay.
They need to request this manually. Because otherwise, what will happen? We, for some user, we are defining this rule, and
Mm-hmm.
some user, right? For ultimately, for 1 lakh user, it will be a mess after some time. Okay, still that okay, user don't matching this criteria, but they have access, right? So they need to request it manually. So that's why SailPoint maintain all this history. It is assigned
Mm-hmm.
directly to the user, to the role, etc.
I heard from one of my actually colleague from that we can like if there is some other concept like policy based access control. So will it be covered in this session here? Is
No,
it really?
we don't have policy based access control. Policy is to revoke the access, not to assign the access. When you say
Okay.
access control means you have a both feature. You can assign the access, you can revoke the access. You have a full control. Policy is only used to revoke the access, not to assign the access.
Okay. So policy based on access control only used to revoke the access.
Revoke the
Okay.
access. If person is violating the policy, the condition is person is violating access. We want to revoke. That is the purpose of policy. It will be covered in the coming session. You can see that.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul.
No problem.
Rahul, one more thing, Rahul. Here, like, what is the use of that top-down and up-down grid in the role-based access?
Top down and what is that? Top down and
Top-down, bottom-down grid. That's where you are using that point.
there is that top down, bottom down.
Go up, go up, go up, go up. Not here. In the role section, just cancel this one. Yes, here.
You understand? When you will be creating 100 plus user, you want to sort top down, bottom down, grid based view basically.
Okay, Rahul. It is there is no use only just for grid purpose.
The view purpose basically. That's it.
Okay.
Rahul, can you go to the edit role? We have one option, right? Permitted role. Can you tell more about it?
Permit roles are optional roles basically. In case if you want to add some access that user may have or can have, right? Not necessarily required for this functionality what we are building here. So that is a permitted role. So required role is basically you can say mandatory role, right? The overall mechanism this is business role will grant IT role, IT role will grant the entitlement. Now IT role where we mention under the required role, right? IT role can be also mentioned under the permitted role, right? SailPoint will try to assign this access, but it's not necessary that access should be granted to the user. Let's say user don't have account on the LDAP, so SailPoint will not assign this access to the user. So it's a optional.
Okay,
That optional access you want to put.
only if user is having account, then it will provide the permitted role.
Yes.
Okay.
There are some other condition also. I don't remember this because organization don't use this actually.
But in case of required role, if user is not having account, it will create account, then it will assign the role.
Yes.
Not
Required
in-
is like a mandatory. It's a mandatory, right? If it is not assigned, let's say due to some reason it's failed. Okay, now let's understand this. Due to some reason, let's say this provisioning of this failed, this entitlement, whatever entitlement, right? SailPoint will completely show you error here on the user.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can show you. SailPoint will show you red marks here. Cross.
Cross mark, yeah.
Red cross. That is, this is not assigned to the user. It's a mandatory one.
Okay.
So
Got it.
permit role is your optional. Even it is not assigned, SailPoint will consider that business role assignment, the role assignment is completed successfully.
So you're saying that in case of permitted role, it will show a cross mark because user is not
In
having.
case of permitted, I'm not sure it will show the cross mark or not. But in case of required role, it shows the cross mark. But see, understand this. Can SailPoint consider in link? Let's example, we have one required role and one permitted role, right? Let's say required role is granted to the user. So can SailPoint consider this a successful request? Yes. But if the required role itself is not assigned to the user, SailPoint will consider it as a failed request. That okay, role is not assigned to the user properly. But in case of permitted, if it is not assigned, SailPoint will not change the status because that is considered as optional. So based on the optional assignment, SailPoint will not change the status. I've not tried this actually. This one.
And what are the reasons why it shows cross mark? Is it due to a user is not having account on the
Yeah,
targets?
because the main purpose is business role we are assigning ultimately to grant user entitlement, right? Entitlement will be assigned to the user because of IT role, right? So let's say business role is assigned to the user, IT role is assigned to the user. In the IT role, we have entitlement. The entitlement provisioning is failed because the server is down, let's say. So SailPoint will show you red cross here that hey, the access failed to assign.
Mhm.
Somewhere you here also it should show you right that okay, in the required role we have 3 IT role and 2 are assigned to the user and 1 is failed.
Mhm.
Correct?
Right.
And then which one is failed that you can check here under the transition that okay, this was the entitlement was assigned to the SailPoint and it failed here.
Okay.
Then you can get the message okay, why it failed.
Mhm.
Some data issue, server is down, whatever.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. So if you see here, right, when we send this, when we submit this request manager access, etc., right? So how end user will notify? I think one of you also asked this question, right? So I mentioned that SailPoint sent the email, right? So how can we see those emails? So SailPoint uses global setting here, identity IQ configurations. So basically we call it IQ configurations, and we do it for all, one time for the complete project. Here you see we have an email setting. Email setting. Generally, we have 3 environment in every project, right? Dev, UAT. We also call it test. We also call it QA. We also call it SIT. We also call it pre-prod, right? And the live environment, prod or live system, correct? Generally, we have 3 environment. Dev, where developer works. UAT, where we do the complete testing just before moving the code into production. Production is a live system, right? Now, SailPoint provide multiple type of email mechanism. And for email, organization use SMTP previously. Now they use license Okta account. Oh, sorry, Outlook, Office 365, right? Okay. So let's say organization using Office 365 account or SMTP, whatever. What we need to do, we have to simply select here email notification type SMTP, host of your SMTP, the server name or your Outlook server name, whatever. If you have configured username, password, configure that, and then save it. That's it. Going forward, SailPoint will use that server and it will send all email to user automatically without doing anything. Let's say if you're requesting access for a user, let's say Carl Foster. So SailPoint automatically send email to the Carl Foster. We have to just place the connection parameter for SMTP server. That's it. Okay. Clear this to everyone?
Yes, no.
Okay. Now, let's say we are doing the testing. In the testing, let's say I might want to submit 10 different requests for same user, right? But I don't want to notify this, right? Otherwise, this will user will confuse. Hey, why I'm getting this, email again and again? Okay, someone is assigning me access, someone is revoking access, right? Why should we disturb the real employee of the user, right? So here we have SailPoint provide one option called redirection, redirect to email. So use the SMTP server, but redirect all emails to the specific address, and those address you can define here. Let's say my name, my other teammate's name, let's say Amit. Using comma separate, we can provide those email address. So what will happen? All email, let's for example, I'm testing for something for this user, I'm requesting some. So by default, SailPoint will try to send email to this user, this email address. But since I'm using this redirect email address, all email will be redirect to our email address. So this we use in the lower environment where we are just performing the testing. Clear this to everyone? Any question here, anyone?
Rahul, not related to this mail setting. Can I ask? I mean, it's related to LDAP group 1.
Yeah, let me complete this first.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's say if we don't have SMTP server, how can we send, how can we test the email? How can we see the email? So SailPoint provides this option redirect to file. In this case, all email will be redirect to file. The file path we need to provide here. For that, what we need to do, we need to create a file here. Let's say I'll create this file, email.txt in my local machine here. Save this, go to this folder, copy the file path with extension, email, complete path and provide here. That's it. What will happen? Now all email will come to this file going forward. So if we don't have SMTP server, SailPoint provides this mechanisms. Without SMTP server also, we can still test our emails. Any question here, anyone? The email part? No questions? No doubt? All right. We also have audit setting. Now, what is audit? So whatever actions we are performing, that should be also captured as a evidence, as a proof that okay, this action is done by this person, right? This approval is done by this person. This application is developed by this person. Those kind of thing, right? This person is logging into system at this time, right? The audit data basically, right? So how can we do this? Go to setting. In the audit, basically nothing custom, it's just a one simple setting. Audit configuration. Here you see there are different options here. Few are selected also. So whatever options are selected here that are actually by default capture. Example, whenever any identity added to the work group. So last week, I think this week only we added some identity into work group, right? So how can you search those audit data? Advanced analytics, search type, change this to audit. Run search, you will see the complete data here. Right now, what we can do, size equal to 100. I'll sort by date. Choose 18, right? You see, INT work group edit. So August 16, 2 days back, we added this user, right? James Smith into finance owner. Correct. So SailPoint maintain this that okay, on this date, INT added into work group, who added administrator edit this. So all this information SailPoint maintain. So that is your audit data. If you want, you can also select options, login, when a person log in, when a person log out, login failure, when a person import files, etc. Whenever email sent, save this. Let's say log out. So first thing is I modify the setting, event number 1, log out, event number 2, login from an invalid user, event number 3, logging for a valid user but invalid password, event number 4, valid user, valid password, event number 5, 5, 6, whatever. Now go here, intelligence, advanced analytics, search type audit, Run sort by date. You see, audit configuration change. This person on this date change this setting, update what? Audit configuration change. Email sent from false to enable true. Import file from false to enable true. Log out. All this. After this person log out, random user was trying to login failure. This person trying to log in failure. Right? And finally, a successful login happened. User INTIQ as to admin. So SailPoint maintain this data here. So in the audit, we actually don't do much. It just you should know how it works in SailPoint. Okay. Any questions here? Anyone on the audit part? Okay. The last one is yeah. Any question?
Yeah. So once we are enabled this audit, how we will deploy in the production? Just I want to understand that part as well. Yes, we are setting out of box functionality.
No, it doesn't matter you are doing out of the box or you are doing the custom one. This is a standard process we follow. In the coming week, I'll show you that process.
Okay.
Yeah, the deployment process, how we deploy the files. Okay. Now the last topic is basically logs. How can we see the logs? The code which is developed by the SailPoint that executes. So we want to see the log, or maybe the logs, the code that we want to create here. We want to see the logs, or maybe some error is coming. How can we see the logs? So there are two type of logs available in SailPoint. First is your basically default logs, right? That is called system log also. Go to intelligence, search type, syslog, system log basically. Simply run search. Here you will see system generated log. Example, this track account does not exist. This error is coming here. Okay. So here you will get minimum information. This is completely default, so it's not very useful. It is useful, but not that level because it will not give you complete detailed error logs, right? But this is system generated basically by default. We don't need to do anything for this. Okay, this is called syslog. The other one is basically is the main one which we use. So that is your log4j. So now what is this log4j? Let me show you this. Go to INTIQ. Sorry, Tomcat. Where's the Tomcat? There is one. Sorry. Web apps, INTIQ, webinar, classes, and here you will see one file called log4j2 properties file. Okay. Log4j is a independent technology which is used to print log of the code. It is widely used in Java, .NET, and some other PHP, some other web application technology. Log4j is widely used. Since Log4j is a open source, right? So SailPoint also use this Log4j with the SailPoint. Open this Log4j. Okay. Here we need to configure this, right? This is designed with a SailPoint, but we need to do some configurations here. This log4j file is used to print logs into some external files, separate files. For that, this is the example they have mentioned. Below is an example of how to create a log of the write into a file. Uncomment the following 5 lines. Uncomment this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then uncomment this line also below. Root logger.append.ref file. You will see this one. Uncomment this also. Okay. Now come back here. This is a file path. So let's create a file. Let's say logs, any name you want to give, .txt, and save this in the desktop B2 batch. Copy this file path. As it is, and update here in your log4j file as it is. Save this. Now going forward, what will happen? Logs will be also printed in this files. Okay. Which logs? SailPoint root logs, error, etc., everything, and then troubleshooting level logs here. If you see, all are disabled here. Why? Because if we enable everything, what will happen? SailPoint will take a lot of processing and the RAM to print this log. So you will see slowness in your SailPoint. Second thing is, it will print too much information here that nothing will be useful for us, right? So only part which where we are feeling that okay, something is not working, we need to troubleshoot, only those we need to enable it. Example, rapid setup is not working, so enable the rapid setup log here. So now you see rapid setup log related entries here. So we should only enable those logs where it is required. Unnecessary printing of logs is totally not useful because it will slow down your SailPoint. Any question here, anyone?
Rahul, till how many days we can save keep these logs? Like, do we have any time period to keep this log?
When I'm creating this one single file, so SailPoint will be keep adding everything inside this one file. It totally depends on the space of your server. So this mechanism is used for small organization, or basically team is doing continuous monitoring, right? But if we feel that okay, there's so much data in the system, so many processes we are running, then we should not use this process. Okay, we have another process here, rolling appender. This is called rolling appender. How it works? It will create multiple files. You see, file size time MB, maximum file 5. So it will create, let's say example, if I define this file path here, log.txt, right? Example this meter.log. So what it will do, it will create this file meter.log. When the file size reach 10 MB, it will split and it will create one more file, new file. It will rename the first line file to meter1, and now it will start writing log into new fresh file meter.log. This way it will create file up to 5. After 5, it will not create new file. It will delete the last file. Okay. So mostly organization use this mechanism where they configure it to 2020 combination, 20 MB file of 20 files, like this. You can increase it to 50/50 also.
We have like 20 files for meter.log, right?
Yeah, correct.
Which is a size of 20 MB.
20 MB each. So what happens is, after some time you will feel that your file size is, suddenly goes to in GB. Now the 1 GB file you cannot open in the notepad. It will fail.
Right.
It will fail to open. So you need to split that file into small chunks so you can open it easily. You can copy it into different machine also if required. So you need to break down that complete size into some small chunks. So we use this 2020 option. You can increase it also, totally depend on your server.
And we can give the file name instead of meter.
Yeah. This completely you can change.
Okay.
This is the file pattern. It will create the file meter. It will add the date and the timestamp basically that okay, this file is archived on this date like this. This also you can change.
Okay. For our project, we are using the above one, not this one. Right?
Now mostly, I've seen this. Most of the customer using this, not this one.
No. For the practice one, we are saying we are using the above one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for the practice one, this is the easiest one. For the project, we always use this.
Okay.
The live environment, basically. Any question? Any doubt? Anyone? All good here? No questions? Anyone? All right. So I think Ramesh, you were asking some question, right?
Yeah, I was asking about that group one entitlement.
Yes.
So when you have created in the console, after creating, it has created work item for the application owner.
Correct.
To approve it, right?
Correct.
And application owner once approves, it's creating the provisioning in the target application.
Right.
See, in case if I have two levels of approval, multi-step approval, say along with application owner approval, if let's say the organization requires a security director or security organization approval for that LDAP group or entitlement along with application owner, so is it possible to configure out of the box?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
When
fine,
we'll
Rahul.
start the workflow,
Okay.
that time I'll show you. So that is
All
part
right.
of your workflow.
Okay. Yeah, I just want whether it is out of the box
Yeah, it
possible.
is there. It is possible. It is possible.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Any other question, anyone, before we drop the call?
Rahul, once it's complete, I just need to connect. I just tried that, but still I'm issue with that.
Okay, fine. So Joydeep, Ranu, and Ramu, you all three facing some issue with your first SailPoint, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sharing a new link basically in your chat. Join that,
yeah.
and or let me actually do one thing. One second.
No,
Let me
no. This
stop
will
recording.
you can share another link because this is a recording session, right? So this will help for
And
us.
I can stop recording.
One more thing is like Rahul, as soon as complete